Boom, we're back, and to show that I'm more than just a reaction channel, I'm featuring a live roll against a wily competitor today. And there's no better place to do it than at my favorite gym to visit, the cellar. He starts shoving my legs backwards so he can force me into turtle, but I make sure I can get to my hip fast enough so I can retain some type of guard. Then I work my way up with a little bit of wrestling by bringing in my underhook until I can work into a body lock. The number one fear for a tall guy when wrestling is to be standing straight up. As soon as he breaks his stance, I'm able to bump him with my right knee and I can bring him down to the mat, and I get to reassert my dominance. Now the next logical conclusion would be that I would keep the body lock so I could pass his guard and work into side control. But then you guys have to remember, I'm not actually that good at jiu-jitsu, so I let go of the position altogether just so I can grab onto his neck. I do pull up his knee a little bit and I try and force myself into mount, but he does a nice job working towards turtle. But the biggest mistake you'll always see on this channel is that people continue to drive into me even though I have control over their neck. I latch onto the guillotine and I start to bring my left elbow up as I can readjust my guard to bring my leg over to stop him from passing. Then I put in my application for the French Revolution by finishing him off with a guillotine. Now my opponent knows that I love the guillotine, so there's no way he's going to get caught in another one. We restart the roll and I start on my butt and I'm going to work in towards 7 guard. This is when I have both my shins on the inside of one leg and I get a quick sweep by pulling against the leg, extending my shins, then I work on top. But his neck is exposed within a 10-mile radius, so I latch onto the guillotine. He's trying his best to fight his way out of here, but I just have to keep everything locked up until I get the tap. The big issue that he made is that after he failed to pass my guard during the jump, he tried to push the elbow down. Since it's a shallow grip, pushing it down is just going to make it tighter. Instead, you have to hand fight, but nonetheless, I'm happy to take a free victory. And let's be honest, there's no way he was going to get out of this guillotine, especially when I'm wearing that powerful Pokemon rash guard. My EV level is insane, and if you want to get great gear just like me, make sure to check out my link in the description below to get gear from xmartial.com. Now it's true that I already have 2 submissions over my opponent, but I want to say that he does a great job in this role. He even defends some of my nasty attacks, but you're going to miss it if you don't watch the whole video. So make sure to stay tuned in so you don't miss any important info. We're doing some wrestling on pummeling in with my underhooks, trying to get to a good grip, then I latch onto the guillotine. And this is when I'm going to start to jump up to the guillotine, but he does a nice job defending. We can see I'm trying to throw my back to the mat to bring him down, but he's staying upright. And by staying upright, this reduces a lot of the pressure I have over him, and I can't get to the choke. I actually have to bail on one of my guillotines and give props to him for his solid defense. He puts in his own application for the French Revolution by trying to attack my head, but I'm not going to have it. I continue to wind in with my underhooks and push him forward. I'm always hand fighting because I want to make sure that I have the correct grips before we set up any real wrestling. But then I remember that guillotines are far easier than wrestling, so I wrap his neck up and I fall to the ground in a pretty sloppy way. I throw the leg over his back, but something just wasn't connecting how I wanted to. So instead of trying to force a guillotine that just wasn't there, I actually let go. That's the first time you're probably going to see me let go of 2 guillotines in one video. And now I have to work on bottom and show off some different techniques because it wasn't working for me. And while he pushes into me, let's do my question of the day. I've recently added new videos such as doing reactions and doing some gym tours, but what else would you like to see from the channel? I'm always looking for great video ideas, so let me know in the comments below. Now I've never had a foot fetish, but I must have found my opponent's feet on Feet Finder because they were looking quite tasty. I'm trying to latch on to the toe hold, and as I think everything looks pretty solid and I'm bringing it in, he actually manages to get his foot out just in time, and now he's forced me into turtle, putting myself in a bad position. I admit I'm not the best at foot attacks, but I'm always trying to expand my game. However, when you go belly down with a foot attack, you risk having your back taken or being forced into turtle. Luckily, I'm able to scramble my way out of here, and as he tries to put his far hook in first, I just have to pull it off and defend against the armbar so I know I'm safe from all his attacks. It doesn't make me feel the best that I failed on 3 submissions, but that doesn't stop me from moving forward. I latch onto the body lock so I can bring him down to his butt. Then I continue to drive up until I can bring his back to the mat. And from here, I want to apply a lot of chest on chest pressure. Then I can keep him flat, move into a better position, and hopefully get into mount. But he shrimps away, and then I'm hit with a moment of clarity. Instead of doing all this extra work, I just fall backwards and I start looking towards the heel hook. It's already looking pretty tight, but then I bring in my second leg to completely stop his knee from moving, and I get a submission. They say that if you can't pass guard, just fall backwards and get a footlock, and I guess that's what I ended up doing. He had his tapping hand out pretty early, so I didn't feel like I had to crank on anything. I just added a little bit of pressure until I can force him to tap after I readjusted. I could have had a tighter bite with my legs to really force the heel hook, but wasn't needed in this situation. I'm not sure what his experience is like with the foot attacks. And if you haven't noticed from my jokes, sometimes I just go for the low-hanging fruit. The low-hanging fruit in this situation is going towards single leg X and attacking with another heel hook. I bring my right leg in over the top and I get another quick tap. That submission was both clean and quick. So you're gonna have to press like on the video, otherwise you have two threats from me. I'm either gonna guillotine you or I'm gonna heel hook you. I'll let you decide your own fate. Now you would think that my cam girl would be on my side, but as my opponent grabs my foot, she's actually cheering for him.
Yeah, get it.
I have no idea why she wants to see me lose so badly, but nonetheless, I'm not gonna let it happen. I continue to work on my leg attack game and I'm going underneath and trying for some belly down attacks, but he does a nice job attacking my right hand. And by keeping my right hand away, I can't attack the knee bar like I was planning to. We can see it's ripe for the taking, but he does a nice job separating me and then he pulls his foot out just in time, putting me into dope mount. I applaud him for trying this next submission. He's trying to wrap up my neck, but he gave me a lot of space so I could sweep him over even though he's attacking the guillotine. Unfortunately for him, we ran out of time, so we're not going to see if he could get me. If you appreciate the video, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.